Hey guys, Peter here from Sigma. Just wanted to give a brief, maybe not so brief, but a few races in the Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 5. Obviously our system works with the PlayStation 5. Basically what we do is we grab the telemetry via the network from the PlayStation, and we do have a computer back there that is running our software, which is located on this other screen here. And the computer runs our motion system, and our controls, these are some just basic Fanatec wheelbase and pedals, are connected to the PlayStation for the input control. But just wanted to make this video for quite a while. We've had Gran Turismo support for a long time, but wanted to make this video to kind of show everybody how good the game is actually. Although the telemetry is not the best, the motion is still very convincing, very good. The force feedback and things like that, again, are just kind of average, but excellent value, right? Like, we're talking about less than $500 for the PlayStation 5, $80 for the game, and tons of fun. And as you will see, we'll start a session here right away, that the feeling of the car is actually pretty good. So let's start with mount Panorama. Will's probably favorite track, Will from Boosted Media. And let's use a 600 performance points. So let's use the Impreza and see how that works. So again, we don't have huge frequency here for the telemetry. Not super detailed, but amazing value. Graphics and everything like that are of excellent quality. And this car's been tuned, so it's got a bit more power than normal, but it's still on stock suspension, I believe. So you'll see a lot of movement here, and I think I have racing slicks on here too. And I'll try to kind of describe what I feel in this title. Here, for example, I am feeling very gentle undulations of the track, and this is here too. I can feel myself getting into the rut of the track, braking at the 100-point mark, down to third. We do have a custom gearbox on this Impreza. What is this? This GTR we're passing, an R33, I believe. Whoops, missed that apex. There's another Impreza in front of me. Full throttle on this one, and a little bit of brake on here. And this is our own custom chassis. We hard mount the Tillett seat directly to the chassis, so we feel a lot of the motion. Absolute zero play in it. The drawback is, like, feeling the curbs there, for example, is pretty excessive. Oh, it definitely feels like a softly sprung performance car. If you've ever had grippy tires, slick tires on soft suspension, it feels very similar to that. You can feel the tires sticking, but the suspension's kind of struggling to not let go. Here's an Evo. Cut on the inside. So like I was saying, the Tillett seat here, this is the Tillett B10 standard version. It's connected directly to, what are we going to do here? It's kind of scary if this was real life. Let these guys go. Up. And the guy ahead of this pack is getting away because these guys. Let's get in here. Slam on the brakes. We're going to do third gear because we got plenty of torque and low gear ratios. So I was saying, the Tillett bucket seats, why we love them is they're extremely rigid, and even there on the brakes I can feel the heave of the vehicle. It's almost like there's a lot of cars braking that section and they've created almost like a natural dip. I'm definitely feeling that. But the Tillett bucket seat, hard mounted, you know, the trade-off is anytime you want to move the bucket seat, you got to take these M8 bolts off or loosen them and slide it. but what you get in return is a very solid feel. There's absolutely zero movement, and the seat itself is acting as a structural member to the frame. And this is something we've been building internally from McMaster, which is a local extrusion supplier, a very expensive one, for a very long time. But it is, for us, the ultimate test chassis. Everything, the whole chassis without me, the driver, is about 160 pounds, perfectly balanced, about 50-50 weight. Sorry, with the driver, with myself in it, it's perfectly balanced, 50-50. So each actuator is working. It's really hard to focus and drive. So each actuator is working beautiful there, just coming off the curbs, feeling that. Now the chassis is slowly pitching forward. Hopefully you'll see that on the video, but going down these, oh yeah, going down the hill here, you can pitch just enough that you know what the car is doing underneath you. Oh, understeer, neutral understeer. Same thing here, I can feel that I'm going just gentle slope down the hill. Probably feel the compression here coming up. There you go, now I feel going up the hill. And it's not excessive. It's just enough to let me know what's happening in the game. Oh, yeah, so again, the suspension here is stock suspension on a highly modified car, so you'll get a lot of movement like this. This is my final laps, will be coming through here. A little bit of a neutral slide, and these cars are like this too. I've had a car like this before, and it drives almost exactly like it does in real life. It just pushes out of the corners. But again, the seat's hard mounted, so we feel everything. It's a solid seat. It's an expensive seat too, but you really feel all the vibrations and the haptics coming through it. The wheel mount is a mono mount. It's easier to get in and out. Also super stiff. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, and let's go somewhere else. So that was Mount Panorama. Let's do Spring Mountain, I think it is. Let's see. It's in the States, Americas. Trial Mountain, not Spring Mountain, Trial Mountain. Thinking of another tracks. Okay, so let's do Trial Mountain, and let's do American cars. Let's do the FR cars. And let's use an old Camaro Z28 1969. 550. Yeah, it should be an easy race as this car is faster than the field. Okay, so we went from an all-wheel drive car on a real track to this track, fictitious track, and American muscle. And we should, from what I remember driving this car the last time, feel a lot more of the weight. We'll feel that solid rear axle, if indeed it has a solid rear axle, I don't remember. There's a Viper in front of me, and here we don't have braking markers, so we're going to have to just go based on visual cues and memory. Probably not the fastest line there. And although we dropped the weight of this car in the tune, it's still... Oi. Not paying attention here. But this gives me a good example to demonstrate the off zone. So driving in the out of bounds there, you don't have a lot of surface texture because it's CPU costly. It's costly to the CPU to have all the different curbs and models in the out of bounds area, so you can actually feel it in the motion. It's easier to just draw a line and say this is out of bounds and give those haptic vibrations, these effects into the wheel or sound cues. So in Gran Turismo, when you hit some of the rumble strips, you hear the rumble strips. Sometimes you feel them in the wheel, and you won't feel them in the motion system because the motion system is looking for real geometry. I'm going to cut the corner here into the tunnel. I remember this part. You can save a lot of time doing that. Bouncing off the rev limiter, which makes our rear end come out. feels like a big V8. This is 3 laps, so we'll have lots of time to catch up. And I felt the car behind me, hit the car behind me, and I felt that in the motion. Visually, I didn't see that because my rear end snapped out and hit him, but I feel that in the motion system. Okay, I'm not really focusing here. I'll try to focus more. Back to the main straight. C2 Corvette. You can feel the power. You can hear the power is much different than the turbo inline 4, flat 4 that we're driving before. This is obviously a V8. Oh, late on the brakes. Let's see if we can stop. Yep. You can feel the weight. Just the stopping distance is so much longer. And even in the lean, you can feel the lean in the motion system again. Something you can't get from just the wheel alone. And the other thing to mention too is how well, I'm not even shifting properly, how well the force feedback of the wheel complements the motion system, vice versa. So whenever I have a roll, it's like everything is in unison. So if I make a left turn here, everybody's going kind of slow here. Not only do I feel the force feedback, but I also feel it in the roll of the chassis. Obviously, you won't get a constant G because we don't have enough movement here or unlimited movement. But you do get the roll of the vehicle. So if we were in an Formula car or any other more tightly sprung car like a GT3 or whatever, you'd have less of the roll and you'd have more of a snappier roll feel. So you can, all that kind of stuff. You don't have the lateral G, but you still get a feeling of how the car is set up and how different it is. And again, they've done a wonderful job on the track here. We're running it in 120 hertz, so I think the resolution's a bit different. I feel the dip there as the front wheels gain some traction. There, I hear the rumble strips. I feel a little bit of it in the wheel, but nothing in the motion because it's not a 3D geometry. But the fact how the car responds to accelerator is just amazing. Here too, just slamming on the brakes, you can feel it pitch and settle down as it's braking. Here's the main straight. Last lap. Just lazy raw power, lots of body roll. And feeling even that dip there. And the way that could be helpful too is you can feel where the car is getting light. Like here, for example, over this crest. Not only is it getting lighter in the steering, but you can feel the rear end come in over the crest. Here, understeer, I can feel the vibration in the wheel. Here, I feel the motion system acting up. So that was 3D modeled. It wasn't just a surface texture, graphical surface texture. And heavy on the brakes, smoke them up. Into the tunnel. Second gear. The way that rear end snapped out there as well, you can obviously feel that in the motion. You see it, but it's a whole other thing when you feel that snap. Here too, I can feel jumping into the tunnel. There's definitely a little edge there. Bouncing off the rev limiter, felt that. Shifting, I'm feeling the shifts. Not sure why I hit the brakes there. Still a lot to improve in this game, I think, in the future. Like having everything properly 3D modeled, but obviously they're doing that for performance efficiency. So it's definitely a lot different, tons of fun. Okay, and let's do one more track. Let's go back to Japan. There's a track we're doing quite a lot of, and we'll do a front wheel drive car just to vary it up. Let's do Asia and Scuba. And let's do the FF challenge, front engine, front wheel drive. And let's grab 450. Okay, so let's grab a slow car. Let's grab an old 1987 Civic EF. So this car's been lightened quite a lot. Actually, one of the very first cars I purchased many years ago now, which I did exactly the same thing. Cut the power steering, got rid of the AC. I don't even think it came with AC. Removed all the interior, took off all the sound deadening, put in a bucket seat that was worth more than the car itself. Engine swap, short gear ratio, and on short tracks it was a ton of fun. Basically, you let off and the front wheel drive car would naturally step out. Not kind of like that, but not really. So with front wheel engine, front wheel drive cars, the front wheels are doing everything, right? So they're braking, accelerating, and turning. So the setup is completely different than like a front engine rear wheel drive or midship or a rear engine rear wheel drive. This is just 2 laps, so it'll be pretty quick. Passing on an Integra. I've had one of those when I was young as well. Heavy on the brakes, on the outside, and we'll cut in. Give it a little love tap. It's probably the most stolen car in North America. On the straight, going into this long sweeping right. Just a challenge. It's a great turn because this is where somebody's competing for position, and it's a trade-off of, do I go hot into the corner and miss that apex, or do I slow down and there's an EK Civic right here, EK chassis code. Also double wishbone suspension on an economy car, which is unheard of today. Unequal length, double wishbone suspension. These cars handle so well. Again, feeling the throttle input there. Give it a Scandinavian flick here over the grass. Definitely feeling that this car is lighter than the V8, and definitely lighter than the GC8. You can feel that on the braking. It just doesn't have that dampening to it, or that it doesn't get settled as much. It feels like I'm more floating over the surface than really digging in. Final lap. Kind of knew he was going to slow down there. That's kind of the AI is predictable in this game, but again, tons of fun. We'll take the win here. So yeah, really enjoyable. The amount of missions you have and content and variety of cars is just fantastic. You do have to grind through everything. I think Polyphony or Sony, they kind of missed an opportunity. They could probably charge like $1,000 or $500 to give you all the content, so you don't have to grind through it, and I think people would buy it just to save some time. But an excellent title. Again, the way this is all working is we have our chassis, we have the DK2 motion system, which right now is about $4,000 for a 4-actuator system. We're looking about $1,000 or so for the wheel, and you don't have to get this one. It's just something we just had in our parts bin. So you got the DD wheel, you got a standard Fanatec wheelbase, cheap pedals. These pedals are kind of bad, but it is what it is. And everything's about 160 pounds together. With me on, it's about 400 pounds. So great system, tons of fun. If you were to add up everything, it's way under $10,000, which is, I think, a great value. And you can definitely learn a lot from this, and you can definitely have a lot of fun in it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the demo. Any comments? Leave them down below.